All right, John, the governor who has taken a hard stand against illegal immigrants coming to his state, the CBO numbers that will scare just about everybody, and what will likely happen to the president's request for nearly $4 million. Let's try $4 trillion. How's that? That and a lot more as we head for the front pages of the mothership website, Newsmax.com. Welcome in managing editor Tim Collie. Good day, sir. How are you?
Hey, good day, Ed. How you doing?
It's another day in paradise. But then again, I say that every day just because it is. Come on, brother. It is just that. Top of the site right now, and it has changed since America's Forum this morning with a great interview with Representative Peter King, telling Newsmax TV that Harry Reid is denying reality or denying the truth on the border crisis. We need to ask Representative King to tell us exactly how he feels sometimes. Great comment.
Yeah. Harry Reid claiming the border is secure, despite the fact that tens of thousands of illegal youngsters are pouring across it.
It is interesting simply because this goes back and forth, Tim. We're going to hear a lot more on this now that we're into this whole whether or not we spend $3.7 billion. So won't it be sort of interesting and almost entertaining to watch as the two sides go battle with each other?
Yeah, Reid is putting forth a very extreme position, so it's difficult to say what the battle is going to be. I think most of his Democratic colleagues acknowledge they've got a serious problem. And so the question is, do you spend the $3.7 billion that the president wants, which only includes about $221,000, I think, for border security, or do you go with a much more streamlined plan that the Republicans want, which includes a lot more money for border security?
All right, let's go ahead and move on to a couple of other stories on the Newsmax.com website. The CBO deficit to skyrocket to World War II highs. That in itself will shock a lot of people, and the administration does not want people to hear those words.
Yeah, because right now, and it's true, the deficit is falling year to year. That's going to last a couple more years, and things are going to kick in. We've got the largest generation in history retiring. They're going to be going on Medicare, Social Security, and other programs. And quite frankly, this doesn't even begin to include the huge pension costs that many states are facing.
And about 30 seconds left. Maryland Governor O'Malley refuses to shelter border kids. I have a feeling we're going to hear there's a lot more governors as this issue of the immigration crisis moves ahead.
Yeah, it's cutting across the political spectrum. They don't want to be responsible for children being transported from the border into their states where anything can happen at this point. Of course, the fear is once you bring them inland, the message gets back to Honduras, El Salvador, that, hey, once you cross that line, you're in.
Make sure everybody crosses the line to go to Newsmax.com. Check out these stories and a whole lot more, and we will check it every day right here during MidPoint to find out what is top of the news. Tim, always a pleasure, my friend. Have a great rest of the day.
You too, Ed. Talk to you later.
Exactly. And there you go. Don't forget, Newsmax.com for all the news, and we'll talk about it right here. Now, let's take a moment and talk about this American moment.
Thomas Jefferson is credited with doubling the nation's size through the Louisiana Purchase. But it was events far beyond his control that made that purchase possible. After becoming president in 1801, Jefferson recognized the Mississippi River had become a major trade route bordering the eastern boundaries of the United States. But he also recognized its vulnerability, since the city that controlled the mouth of the Mississippi, New Orleans, was owned by the French. America's overtures to purchase the city of New Orleans were repeatedly rejected by the French until 1803, when the French Navy suffered a major defeat off the coast of what is now Haiti. Napoleon found himself needing money to rebuild his navy. Consequently, when in that same year, Secretary of State James Monroe again traveled to Paris with an offer to purchase New Orleans, he was pleasantly surprised to learn Napoleon was willing to sell not only New Orleans, but all of France's territories in the New World. The United States was ready to spend up to $10 million to purchase just the city. So when Napoleon offered to sell all of their land holdings for a total of $15 million, the future president accepted. In one action, 828,000 square miles covering the future states of Arkansas, Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Minnesota, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, New Mexico, North Dakota, South Dakota, Oklahoma, Texas, and Wyoming became part of America for less than 3 cents per acre. For Newsmax TV, I'm Bill Curtis, and this is an American Moment.